Renegade Mystic is perhaps the most important book I've ever written, to date at least. And it's not just my personal memoir, but it really, by the end of the book, it sums up my ideas about what it is to be alive and a conscious being and what is reality. But it does begin with my upbringing, how I grew up, my spiritual experiences at a young age, and then as an adult. And what people don't know is that as an adult, I chose a different spiritual path than the one I was born into. But I ended up being hurt by a couple of spiritual teachers. And I think that's something that a lot of people have in common, this issue of spiritual abuse or being controlled or manipulated by their spiritual teacher and being disappointed by the path they thought was going to bring them solace or bring them freedom or enlightenment or whatever terms you want to use. And then from that, how I decided to use psychic experiences to break free from the dogma that I'd inserted myself into and to find my own path in reality, find my own path in life, find my own path of discovery about what is consciousness and what does it mean to be alive and what happens after we die. So you'll learn about how I learned telekinesis, which my other books tell you how to do it, but this is what brought me into that, and out-of-body experiences and lucid dreaming. And this book actually has step-by-step instructions to teach you how to have out-of-body experiences and lucid dreams. It also tells you about mediumistic experiences I've had and even contact with non-human entities, including extraterrestrials. And that came most recently in my life after developing myself psychically. So something about all the psychic training opened me up to have these experiences with other non-human beings. And some of them were quite intimate. And there's actually some artistic depictions about what happened with me and another being, which is very personal, so I'm not going to show it here, but it's in the book. And then at the end of the book, there's several essays in which I condense all the information and experience I had all my life into what I think is going on behind the scenes of reality. What is consciousness? What is mind? And some essays about what does it mean to be a researcher in this field of life, to research consciousness, research psychic phenomena. How do we need to think appropriately and fairly to look into these matters? But overall, it's a really fun book to read. A lot of people who've already read it have told me that they read it in just a few sittings, that they couldn't put it down. It's very personal to me. It is my life. There's some pain there. There's pleasure. There's love. There's sex. A lot of psychic stuff happens in it. My psychic history is there. So if you're interested in books like the Carlos Castaneda books, or The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, or The Celestine Prophecy, or the spiritual adventure books, which may or may not be based in reality, I think you're going to love Renegade Mystic. Except the difference is, this is a true story. These things actually happened to me. These are things that are still part of my life. And maybe in one sense, it's just the beginning. But if you're interested in the material I've been putting out the last few years, Renegade Mystic sums it all up and shares the deepest meaning that I understand to date with you. So I hope you enjoy it.